Yeah, that sucked.
Is that bad?
It's not good.
It's unacceptable. Won't be tolerated. Won't be allowed. Won't allow it.
But hey, new studio, new vibes, same great intro. Let's roll it. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Uncle Dan's Best Bets here on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel, located here, the Best Bets, in the beautiful Connors and Ferris studio. How about this, right? Great vibes as always. Shout out to Connors and Ferris for helping us put together this gorgeous new podcast. And as always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. We really appreciate it. We went over 40,000 subscribers earlier last week. Really appreciate your support as always. And speaking of support, you know we got to do it. Shout out here to Bob Johnson Auto Group, the big old logo there. They're the best. Buying, trading, leasing, selling in, want to get something new, be sure to head out to Bob Johnson Auto Group. They have got you covered. I've talked about it all the time. My wife and I work with Daryl out in Leroy, got a new car last year, SUV for all the kiddos. So again, appreciate it as always for Bob Johnson Auto Group sponsoring Uncle Dan's Best Bets. So as we talked about in the open, was not great last week, guys. Hand up, my bad. Not good, but hey, how about this? Like we said, new studio, new vibes. I got these cool cue cards. Maybe looking more official. Maybe we'll win some bets this week. I'm going to guarantee it. We're going to have a winning week this week. If not, I will give all my picks away for free next week. How about that for you? But anyway, as we look forward and move ahead, 2-7 last week, not great. But if you went chronologically, I actually won my first two bets and then we lost the next 7. So moving right along, we are back with an 8 picks for week number 2 of the NFL season as we will bounce back and get back on track. And there's a trend that I actually really like in week 2. I love overs all the time, even more in week 2. And the theory behind this is, guys, is that teams will never be more sore, that defenses will never be more tired. And Sean McDermott talked about it this week. And I remember earlier this year or a few years ago, Chris Long talked about his podcast that like they haven't gone through the beating before of this kind of in so long. So the defenses are more sore. The offenses, a lot of them haven't played in the preseason. So I feel like that gives them the advantage. They've got a little bit of rhythm. Defenses are sore. I like overs this week. The one problem we have here, ladies and gentlemen, is I went back and tried to look up some historical data and trends on that. Can't find any of it. A lot of unders in week 1. A lot of chalky favorites winning in week 1. So we have eight plays, and we will try and get back on track with 8 of them. And we will start in Dallas. Give me the Cowboys minus 4.5 versus the Giants. I like that the Giants I like that the Cowboys are coming off of extra rest, playing on that Thursday game. And here's the trend for you. The Cowboys are 13-0 straight up in Dak Prescott's last 13 start against the Giants. 11 of those wins have been by 5+ points, while Dallas has scored 35 in 7 of those games. So all of that points to the Cowboys are going to score a lot. They've got extra time to rest. Dak is really good against the Giants. It's at home, and I don't think the Giants can score points. This is also just a straight up fade Russell Wilson spot. And I love Daboll. You guys know that, but I can't back him up here. Also, next play, it may be a sickness. Maybe a sickness. Give me the Bengals minus 3.5. Give me the Bengals minus 3.5. Was looking at some of that action here as well. This is just, I don't buy the Jaguars. So this is some of those games where it's like, Bengals struggled, Jags picked up the win, all of this stuff. But I think the Bengals maybe just had the jitters of they lose every week 1 game. Joe Burrow was asked about it, and he's like, hey, we're off to a better start than last year. I think it's just the monkey off their back. Now they get rolling. I think they left points on the board there against the Browns. So I'm going to back the Bengals again, minus 3.5. You want an over? I got an ugly one for you. Patriots, Dolphins, over 43.5. I really wanted to take the Patriots plus the 1.5 because I think that the Dolphins may have quit this early in the season. But I'll wait a week. They're on quit watch. They're on quit alert. I'm not sure which one is the watch and which one's the warning. But I think they could be bad. I think their defense is bad, so I like that the Patriots might be actually able to move the ball. And I like Mike McDaniel, and if he's got anything left to get his team going, it's got to be offensively. So this is an over, and it's over 43.5 because I think these two teams aren't very good. Defenses aren't good. I like points in that game. Show me something. Show me some offense. Next game, Lions, -6.5 versus the Bears. Big number, but I'll tell you this, the smart money is on the Lions. They're getting 14% of the bets, but 82% of the money. That is a big difference. Lions, very good coming off a loss. They're good pretty much every week with their trends with Dan Campbell. Bears, shorter week, really bad loss. The second half, they looked really bad. Dan Campbell coming back home after kind of getting punched in the mouth by the Packers. I think Dan Campbell gets the boys fired up. I like them to kind of make a statement against Ben Johnson in this spot. So I'll take the Lions -6.5. Also, we didn't talk about it last week. Lions and and Jared Goff outdoors at Lambeau. Should have seen that one coming. That should have been a stay away. Get them back indoors. I think the offense gets rolling. Lions -6.5. This may be my favorite play of the week. They were one of my favorite plays last week. Didn't work out. But this is another one where the smart money's on it. Denver looked awful. Almost lost to the Titans. Probably should have. The Colts, incredible. Blew out the Dolphins. Perfect offensive game. Danny Dimes, all this stuff. So what would you think the spread would be with the Colts now hosting Denver? Well, Denver's favored. And everybody's going to go, I saw the Colts play week 1. They looked great. What are you talking about? You're going to give me the Colts at home with points? Sure, I'll take it. Yeah, that's not the case. I'm taking Denver -1.5. This is a classic overreaction spot. Denver's getting 54% of the bets, 76% of the money. This is just a spot where I think the Dolphins are really as bad as what they showed. That wasn't necessarily a compliment to the Colts, but more of an indictment on how bad Miami was. And I think Denver that's as bad as Denver can play. They're a really good team, really good defense. I think they will give Daniel Jones and all those guys fits. I really like Denver to play better and look better and get an easy win in that one. Another spot where everybody's looking. So that's 4 favorites for you. That's 4 favorites and an over. Don't love that, but that's what the trends have been over the last season plus. Excuse me. So how about this one for you? I got an underdog for you. Falcons +3.5 at the Minnesota Vikings. This is another one that the sharp money loves. The Falcons are getting 21% of the bets, very little. They're getting 60% of the money right now. We're going to follow some sharp money. We're using data, analytics. I think the Falcons should have won or at least tied, been in that game going to overtime with a really good Bucs team. I think we all agree that the Bucs are good. Falcons were right there with them. I think the Bears stink. I think that J.J. McCarthy isn't as good as we thought. I think this is an overreaction. This is a young quarterback on a short week going up against a defense that I think can play better in Atlanta. So I think when everybody's going to be like, the Colts, they were so good. The Vikings, what a win. All that stuff. We go back the other way. That's where we take the Falcons to get a win. All right. So there's our sixer. And then here's the final plays. Bills at Jets. I'm going to take the over. 46.5. Love this Bills offense, the way that they got rolling in that second half of the game. I'm also not so sure about that defense right now, waiting to see what Ed Oliver is. All of these lines right now, I'm recording this Friday morning. We're going to try and have Uncle Dan's best bets up by Friday evening, Saturday morning at the latest, depending on schedules, kids, all of that kind of stuff. But I like the over here in this one. Bills had a walkthrough on Thursday. Like, they're already kind of taking it easy because they took a beating against the Baltimore Ravens. Defense may be a little worn and torn. I think that you have a running attack that New York can do some things. Justin Fields and Breece Hall and all of that stuff. So I think there will be opportunities. Well, I think the Bills defense will play better than what they did against the Ravens. Hard to play worse. I like a lot of points in that game. I don't think this is the same old Jets team. New vibe, new coach, new quarterback. I like that a lot. And finally, we need some wins, so we go back to some old faithfuls. Give me Khalil Shakir over 45.5 receiving yards. Keon Coleman got a lot of the attention. I bet he'll garner a lot of attention from Sauce Gardner. So shorter throws underneath, Khalil Shakir is going to make his money. All right. So there it is. There is the 8-pack. Cowboys -4.5, Bengals -3.5, Patriots Dolphins over 43.5. Lions -6.5, Denver -1.5, Falcons +3.5, Bills Jets over 46.5, Khalil Shakir over 45.5 receiving yards. We're going to win money this week. I can feel it. Appreciate it as always. Make sure to comment in if you have any plays. Always appreciate it so much. Basil, Ian, everybody that follows along means a lot. Again, shout out Bob Johnson Auto Group. Shout out Connors and Ferris for this awesome podcast studio. We're going to christen this podcast studio with some wins in week 1. 2, it's first week in the studio. You know what I mean. Again, like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate it. We'll catch you next time here. Best of luck this weekend. Catch you next time. Uncle Dan's Best Bets. Clunky ending. Roll Tag.